Transmitting from the Mojave Wilderness in Joshua Tree, California, now is the time for Desert Oracle Radio, the voice of the desert.
Night has fallen on the desert, and I've been thinking about a story told to John Wesley Powell on his famous voyage down the Colorado through the Grand Canyon. I mentioned it in the Death Valley chapter of the Desert Oracle book, Volume 1. But this is from Powell's journals. The Indians have woven the mysteries of the canyons into the myths of their religion. Long ago, there was a great and wise chief who mourned the death of his wife and would not be comforted until Tavwots, one of the Indian gods, came to him and told him his wife was in a happier land and offered to take him there so that he might see for himself if, upon his return, he would cease to mourn. The great chief promised. Then Tavwots made a trail through the mountains and intervened between that beautiful land, the balmy region of the Great West, and this, the desert home of the poor Numa. This trail was the canyon gorge of the Colorado. Through it, he led him. And when they had returned, the deity exacted from the chief a promise that he would tell no one of the trail. Then he rolled a river into the gorge, a mad and raging stream that should engulf any that might attempt to enter again.
Desert Oracle Radio.
The Orpheus myth turns up in the stories of many North American Indian tribes, from the forested eastern seaboard to the arid and mountainous west. Here's one version, collected in A.L. Kroeber's Indian Myths of South Central California. A Tachi man had a fine wife who died and was buried. But he went to her grave and dug a hole near it. There he stayed watching, not eating anything, using only tobacco. After 2 nights, he saw that she came up, brushed the earth off herself, and started to walk to the island of the dead. The man tried to hold her, but he could not seize her. She went southeast and he followed her. Whenever he tried to hold her, she slipped through his arms. He kept trying to seize her, however, and he delayed her journey. At daybreak, she stopped, and he stayed there, but he could not see her. When it began to be dark again, the woman got up and went on. She turned westward and crossed an inlet of Tulare Lake. At daybreak, the man again tried to hold her, but he could not seize her. She stayed in that place during the day. The man remained in the same place, but again he could not see her. There was a good trail there, and he could see the footprints of his dead friends and relatives. In the evening, his wife got up again and went on. They came to a river which flows westward towards San Luis Obispo, the river of the Tulamni. There the man caught up with his wife, and there they stayed the day. He still had nothing to eat. In the evening, she went on again, now northward. Then somewhere to the west of the Tachi country, he caught up with her once more, and they spent the day there. In the evening, the woman got up and they went on northward, across the San Joaquin River. Again, he overtook his wife. Then she said, "What are you going to do? I am nothing now. How can you get my body back? Do you think you shall be able to do it?" He said, "I think so." She said, "I think not. I'm going to a different kind of a place now." From daybreak on, that man stayed there. In the evening, the woman appeared and started once more down along the river. When he caught up with her again, she did not speak to him. Then they stayed all day, and at night went on. Now they were close to the island of the dead. It was joined to the land by a rising and falling bridge called Cha'elali. Under this bridge, a river ran swiftly. The dead passed over this. When the dead were on the bridge, a bird suddenly fluttered up beside them and frightened them. Many fell off into the river, where they turned into fish. Now the chief of the dead said, "Somebody has come." They told him, "There are two. One of them is alive. He stinks." The chief said, "Do not let him cross." When the woman had walked onto the island, the chief asked her, "You have a companion?" And she answered, "Yes, my husband." He asked her, "Is he coming here?" She said, "I do not know. He is alive." The people of the dead then asked the man, "Do you want to come to this country?" He said yes. They told him, "We will speak to the chief." He waited while they told the chief, "This living man says he wants to come to this country. We think he does not tell the truth." "Well," the chief replied, "let him come across." So now they intended to scare him off the bridge. They said, "Come on, the chief says you can cross." Then the bird, the kacha it was called, flew up and tried to frighten him, but it did not make him fall off the bridge into the water. He walked steadily over to the island. So they brought him before the chief. The chief said, "This is a bad country. You should not have come. We only have your wife's soul. She has left her bones with her body. I do not think we can give her back to you." But in the evening they danced. It was a round dance, and they shouted, and the chief said to the man, "Look at your wife in the middle of that crowd. Tomorrow you will see no one." Now the man stayed there 3 days. Then the chief said to his people, "Bring that woman. Her husband wants to talk to her." They brought the woman to him. The chief asked her, "Is this your husband?" She said, "Yes." He asked her, "Do you think you will go back to him?" She said, "I do not think so. What do you wish?" The chief said, "I think not. You must stay here. You cannot go back. You are worthless there now." Then he said to the man, "Do you want to sleep with your wife?" He said, "Yes, for a while. I want to sleep with her and I want to talk to her." Then he was allowed to sleep with her that night, and they talked together. At daybreak, the woman had vanished, and the man was sleeping next to a fallen oak. The chief said to him, "Get up, it is late." He opened his eyes and saw the oak tree there instead of his wife. The chief said, "You see that we cannot make your wife as she was. She is no good to you now. It's best that you go back. You have a good country there. Come back to this place when it's time. But now you must go home." And so in the morning, the man prepared to go home. The chief said to him, "When you arrive, hide yourself. Then after 6 days, emerge and make a dance." And retracing his steps, the man returned home, where he told his parents, "Make for me a small house. In 6 days I will come out and dance." Now he stayed within the house for 5 days, but then his friends began to hear that he had returned. "Our relative has come back. Our brother has come back," they all said. And the man was now in too much of a hurry. After 5 days instead of 6, he went out. And in the evening, he began to dance, and he danced all night, telling what he saw. In the morning, when he had stopped dancing, he went to bathe. And a rattlesnake struck him, and the man died. So he went back to the island. He is there now. It is through him that the people know the island is there. Every 2 days, the island becomes full with people. Then the chief gathers the dead. "You must swim," he says. The people stop dancing and bathe. Then the bird frightens them, and some turn to fish and some turn to ducks. Only a few come out of the water again as people. In this way, room is made when the island is too full. The name of the chief there is
Brothers and sisters, friends of the revolution, this here's the Right Reverend Mojo Nixon from the Screaming Church of the Epileptic Jesus. And I don't want to talk about S-I-N, sin, and I don't want to talk about G-I-N, Jan. That's right, I'm here to talk about Spin Magazine, brothers and sisters. It'll put the freeze in your knees, the quiver in your liver. And if you don't go out and buy this here magazine, I'm going to pull out your spleen. Ain't that right, Skid Roper?
Amen, brother.
That's right, that's the wrong Rabbi Skid Roper on the harmonica right there. And I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that Mojo Nixon and Skid Roper and Spin Magazine, they go together like two rabid dogs in heat. That's right, brothers and sisters. I want you to get in your car and I want you to drive to the store. I want you to buy a Spin Magazine. I want you to be drinking a warm beer down by the power line. That's right, because Spin Magazine is a making the scene.
I found that strange old radio commercial in my email a week or two back, mixed in between the threats and the bills and the usual garbage. And it was in an email from my old friend Greg McIlvain in Los Angeles. He was going through some old cassette tapes and he found this commercial from a college radio live performance that he'd recorded, and this was one of the commercials from Spin Magazine by Mojo Nixon. This would have been the late 1980s, probably. Greg McIlvain, unlike Mojo, is alive and well and performing with his Americana band, folk music band, I'm not sure what they're exactly categorized as, the Zephyrs, and he's got several great records out with the Hollow Trees. Thank you, Greg, for sending that, and happy birthday to our old friend Mojo Nixon. He would have turned 69 years old last week. When you don't know why you're alive, everything is a struggle. If you don't have any sense of mission or destiny, or religious faith, or really any sort of sustainable lifetime philosophy, then the small stuff is all you can think about. Because no matter where you are in life, at one time or another, you are going to have all the usual problems. Health, money, sorrow, disgust, anger, gum disease, athlete's foot, too much house, or none at all. Your dog either up and died, or it's neurotic and full of hate and will outlive you by decades. Everybody's out to get you, or nobody pays any attention at all. The entirety of modern technological society has brushed away and marginalized the personal practice of philosophy. So we lose the plot while we're in it. It's like one of those Disney Star Wars movies. And yet, the one person on earth pretty much everybody can agree was a wise philosopher, the Buddha, made a list of 5 things that everybody should remember and think about on a regular basis. 5 things. You can use one hand to count to 5 and the other to make sure you don't lose track. It is my nature to grow old. I cannot avoid old age. It is my nature to have ill health. I can't avoid ill health. It is my nature to die. I can't avoid death. I will be separated from all I love. I cannot avoid separation from the people and things I love. And finally, that's your thumb, if you count that way. My deeds are my only possessions. What I do is what I am. That's it. A video gamer could remember that with practice. It's not morbid either. It's plain, it's pointed, and by the time you're old enough to need this kind of assistance, I can guarantee you it's not hypothetical. And it's relaxing, really. They didn't give you that dog you wanted down at the shelter. Your offer got rejected on the one house within 100 miles that you could conceivably afford. Well, them's the breaks. And one day, not too long from now, it won't matter anyway. You don't need to be a Buddhist, whatever that is. It's just common sense, a helpful reminder that all things must pass. You don't need to pick one philosophy and stay with it for life. You just need a philosophy to get you from place to place in life. If it turns out to be the same one all the way, if Stoicism or Catholicism or socialism gets you through the nights that you have left, then lucky you. If cryptocurrency keeps you interested in getting up in the morning for a couple of years, that's great. Please mind your cryptocurrency responsibly. And if your childhood interest in Star Wars is still hanging on, in your 30s or 40s, well, if it gives you a reason to get up in the morning, may whatever it is be with you. Maybe Yoda will lead you to Zen Buddhism, because it doesn't matter how you get there. And if you're lucky, your approach to life will provide you with some sort of community, or at least some sort of effective system. And it all depends on what you're looking for. I've found that setting things up so I don't have to see people very often makes life especially tolerable, with the important bonus of making the time I do spend with people very enjoyable. In small doses. And moderation. Moderation is a good long-term strategy, even if it's an especially boring strategy in the short term. When Leonard Cohen was pushing 80 years old, somebody asked him if his approach to work had changed. I never had an approach, he said. I was always like a bear in a honey tree, just trying to get something without getting stung to death. Little moments of transcendence are generally enough to get any of us through all the dull trudging along in between. If I'm wandering around the desert or the mountains or the rivers by myself on a daily basis, I'm much more likely to come across things that delight the soul. I found a place to walk around without any other people earlier today, right here in Moab, and I'm not telling you where. And probably the best brain-clearing moment was as I sat under a juniper to get a little shade at midday. I heard the goofiest sounding bird. And it flew goofily past me, and that was really the highlight. It sounded like a Binion jay, but I could not see it too well with the sun in my eyes. And then I found myself merrily walking down the ridge, wondering how often Binion jays are seen alone. Because there's usually 100 of the little noisemakers. Although I occasionally see one by its lonesome. And a moment like that can erase hours of annoyance from all the rental RVs clogging up the highways. But of course, if you get off the highway, then you don't need to worry about the rental RV doing 40 in the 65 zone, with its turn signal blinking for 100 miles. Oh well, at least they know what turn signals are. Maybe. Boydus Isaacs, and across the great Mojave wilderness, this is Desert Oracle Radio, coming to you from the high desert, where the 247 meets State Route 62, where weird things wash up from Los Angeles to be stranded upon desert sands. Thank you, friends, for listening, for joining us either on your podcast listening device or on our home station of KCDZ 107.7 FM, broadcasting from Joshua Tree. And you can hear it all over, all the way out at the end of Wonder Valley, Homestead Valley to the north. You can hear it if you're in a high enough location, and I mean elevation-wise, from Mojave National Preserve, a home of such water stops and roadside towns as Troy, Hector, Arctic, Ludlow, Ash Hill, Siberia, Baghdad, Amboy, Cadiz, Danby, Fenner, Paiute, Goffs. Wherever you are in the desert Southwest, be mindful out in that heat. Don't be the national park hikers who make the newspaper for all the wrong reasons, dropping dead under the brutal summer sun, an annual ritual. Early in the morning or sundown and afterwards, that's the only good time to be outside when triple digits are the norm. And I do wish I was going to be seeing some of you at this festival that got canceled. But hopefully when I do see you next, the weather will be a little more forgiving. Good night from the voice of the desert.